She's living up on the hill. That woman don't love me, but her sister will. She got eyes like diamonds, teeth shining like Fort Knox gold. Eyes like diamonds, teeth shining like Fort Knox gold. Gotta love that woman before I grow too old. Baby, you're beautiful, but you gotta die someday. You're too beautiful, you gotta die someday. I gotta get me some love before I pass away. Oh, people jump for joy, happy as a baby boy. Oh, people jump for joy, happy as a baby boy. Mama got me a brand new cheap, cheap toy early in the morning, hey.
Okay, this piece is called Blind Faith. Hey, Ari, nobody can better Hannah's baklava. The young boy didn't need an education on the marvels of his aunt's pastries, neatly positioned in his open knapsack. The sweet smell of sliced almonds crowning a cake skillfully constructed from delicate layers of phyllo, packed with chopped nuts and drenched in honey, spoke for itself. But as to how little Ari had found himself standing on a crowded train bound for Poland, that remained something of a mystery.
I guess it's funnier from where you're standing, because from over here I missed the joke. Cleared the way for my crash landing. I've done it again. Another number for your notes. I would be smiling if I wasn't so desperate. I'd be patient if I had the time. I could stop and answer all of your questions as soon as I find out how I can move from the back of the line. So I'll be your clown, behind the glass. Go ahead and laugh, because it's funny. I would too if I saw me. I'll be your clown on your favourite channel. My life's a circus round in circles. I'm selling out tonight.
Flaherty was gone, but his friends were still around. Ginger kept calling for him to go out to play every evening. After about the third meow, meow, I'd open the door and explain to the orange cat that Flaherty didn't live with us anymore. One evening, in desperation, I told him to step inside and see for himself that Flaherty wasn't home. He came in, sniffed about, sat on Flaherty's bed. He stayed. Ginger knew I was sad and tried to replace the missing cat, showering me with affection. I gave out to him, telling him not to spray me, but sure he took no heed. I had just to wash or change my clothes, and he was over, sticking his bum up in the air and marking me as his.
I think it just shows the circle of life, really. And it's called Blue. You're a thin blue line on a pregnancy stick. It's love at first sight. The blueness of right, of light, the blueness of skies, your eyes, the blueness of style, your smile, the blueness of sighs, of cries, of whys, the blueness of sad, the blueness of bad, the blueness of that thin line in a blue body bag.
I chose the location because I used to live in the Fort Hill Road, and this Fort Hill Park was my children's wonderful playground when they were small. I work all day and get half drunk at night. Waking at 4 to soundless dark, I stare. In time the curtain edges will grow light. Till then I see what's really always there, unresting death. A whole day nearer now, making all thought impossible, but how and where and when I shall myself die. Arid interrogation, yet the dread of dying and being dead flashes afresh to hold and horrify. The mind blanks at the glare, not in remorse, the good not done, the love not given, time torn off unused, nor wretchedly, because an only life can take so long to climb clear of its wrong beginnings and may never, but at the total emptiness forever. The sure extinction that we travel to and shall be lost in always. Not to be here, not to be anywhere, and soon. Nothing more terrible, nothing more true.
My name's Sarah Saunderson and I've chosen to read Ozymandias by Shelley. I've chosen Fort Hill Park because I think it's a beautiful Victorian garden in the centre of Enniskillen, and the reason I'm reading Ozymandias is it's actually my husband's favourite poem. We were looking at lots of different poems for today, and I'd chosen a number of different poems, but he pointed this one out, and it very much reminded me of my school days. So that's the reason why I've chosen Ozymandias by Shelley. I met a traveller from an antique land who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor well those passions read, which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed." And on the pedestal, these words appear: "My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, you mighty and despair." Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away.
Hello, I'm Billy Mulligan, and I'm here today at the Farmers Market in Enniskillen to read a poem to you as part of the FLive festival. I'm going to read a poem by W.F. Marshall from 6 Mile Cross in County Tyrone. Me and me da. I'm living in Drumlister and I'm getting very old. I have to wear an Indian bag to save me from the cowl. The deal of man in this townland was cleaner reared nor me, but I'm living in Drumlister, in clobber to the knee.
Welcome everybody. I'm going to read a poem called Ceasefire by Michael Longley. I'm reading this in memory of my son Paul. Reconciliation is the theme of the poem, and I believe this to be very important in conflict situations. Ceasefire. Put in mind of his own father and moved to tears, Achilles took him by the hand and pushed the old king gently away. But Priam, curled up at his feet, wept with him until their sadness filled the building. Taking Hector's corpse in his own hands, Achilles made sure it was washed and, for the old king's sake, laid out in uniform, ready for Priam to carry, wrapped like a present, home to Troy at daybreak. When they had eaten together, it pleased them both to stare at each other's beauty as lovers might. Achilles, built like a god, Priam, good-looking still, and full of conversation, who earlier had sighed. I get down on my knees and do what must be done, and kiss Achilles' hand, the killer of my son.
Here, on Cole's monument on a wet and windy Thursday Fermanagh afternoon, no doubt about the poem's relevance to our theme of water, water everywhere. And this famous poem too has a watery theme. Shalott, we think, is a location invented by Tennyson for its assonance and rhyme with Camelot, also a mythical place inhabited by King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, including Sir Lancelot, who comes into the poem later on. On either side the river lie long fields of barley and of rye that clothe the wold and meet the sky, and through the field the road runs by to many-towered Camelot.
And up and down the people go, gazing where the lilies blow, round an island there below, the island of Shalott.
Willows.
Dulce et coram est. Bent double, like old beggars under sacks. Knock-kneed, coughing like hags, we cursed through sludge, till on the haunting flares we turned our backs, and towards our distant rest began to trudge. Men marched asleep. Many had lost their boots, but limped on, bloodshod. All went lame, all blind. Drunk with fatigue, deaf even to the hoots of gas shells, dropping softly behind. Gas, gas, quick boys! An ecstasy of fumbling, fitting the clumsy helmets just in time. And still someone was yelling out and stumbling and floundering, like a man in fire or lime. Dim through the misty panes and thick green light, as under a green sea, I watched him drowning. In all my dreams, before my helpless sight, he plunges at me, guttering, choking, drowning. If in some smothering dream you too could pace behind the wagon that we flung him in, and watch the white eyes writhing in his hanging face like a devil sick of sin. If you could hear at every jolt the blood come gargling from the froth-corrupted lungs, bitter as the cud of vile, incurable sores on an innocent tongue. My friend, you would not tell with such high zest to children, ardent for some desperate glory, the old lie, dulce et decorum est, pro patria more.
It's a lovely poem too. It's also by Kevin, and it's called The Florence Court Fire. With all the water, it was touch and go. For the dining room ceiling, its pale stucco, a local man, though, knew well enough to know boring holes in the floor would let the water go. In his memory, there repeats in pale garlands, loops, rococo, rococo.
Here we go. In the 21st century, in the 21st century, on my flight across the night, America the beautiful rolls by. All those windows, all those people, all those lives. Across the land, in every home, in humble hut or pleasure dome, I know there's dirty doings going on. The man who seeks the fancy whore, the boy who locks the bathroom door. Ah yes, I know there's dirty doings going on. So I must spread the word to save you from your fate. You must mend your ways before it's too late. Repent, repent, repent. Stop those dirty little doings, every man and boy and wife. Repent, repent, repent. Stop those wicked little wooings that are screwing up your life. Try to visualize, my friends, and keep your thinking pure. Try to live your lives, my friends, a notch above the sewer. Repent, repent, repent. Reform, reform, reform. Take a nice icy shower when you're feeling warm. Yeah, da 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 da, yeah, da 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 da.
I was sure to come and start. Here we go, come on, sing it. And it was same old story. Same old song. It goes on right till it goes on. Since you got blood around in the war, you let go and got that door. Now that you're gone, oh yeah, it's a long road. It goes on right till it goes Yep. All's alright. Till it goes
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must go. Good night, sweetheart. Good night. Well, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Maybe they just can't treat you right. And today I don't mean me. You know I love you so. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must say. Good night, sweetheart. Good night.